Right, friends, good morning to each and every one of you, wherever you find yourself in South Africa. I hope that it's a beautiful morning on your side and that you're feeling great on the Friday morning, feeling positive and feeling focused and ready to go. So again, thank you so much for joining me in this session where we're going to be looking at taking ownership of your business and what real estate entrepreneurship could possibly mean, and just entrepreneurship in general. And why I wanted to share a few thoughts with you on this is in my 7 years with Harcourts and being in this industry for 17 years this year, I have just seen constantly how top performers in this industry, not only in real estate, obviously in any business environment, take real ownership of their businesses. And then we have a lot of individuals that just don't take ownership of their businesses. And that's obviously a mindset, isn't it? It's a mindset. It's the way that you look at your business, the way that you approach your position as a real estate professional. Now, this morning's discussion is, if you will allow me, I can imagine that you're sitting there either as a sales agent or as a rental agent or as an office administrator or as a business owner. But this is really focused at individuals that are out there on risk, earning commission, and not being paid a salary. So you really have to take ownership of your business. But more than that, even if you're an office administrator, obviously it's about taking ownership of our business and having pride in our business. But you'll see as we go along what I mean by that. But guys, we also need to understand that there's the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle says it's the 80-20 rule, that in your marketplace, in your suburb, in your in your franchise area, 20% of the agents and 20% of the agencies will write 80% of the business. And 80% of the agents and 80% of the agencies and offices in your town or in your neighborhood will write 20% of the business. The question is where do you want to see yourself? Where do you need to see yourself? You know, the wants and the needs are two different things. If we really need to see ourselves as part of the 20% writing 80% of the business, because that is what your financial commitments are, etc., then surely you need to do whatever you need to do to be in that 20% that writes 80% of the business. But if you don't really need to be in that echelon, if you're quite comfortable being part of the 80% that writes 20% of the business, nothing wrong with that. But it's just a different approach and a different mindset. But throughout, again, my journey in Harcourts, we have come to the point where we've just seen a rather, or let me rather say, a lower than desired uptake of the Harcourts tools, the Harcourts resources, the things that Harcourts as a company around the globe make available and that we teach and that we present to our teams. But the use of that is not always where we would like it to be, you know, and the carry out of the brand promise is not there. And ultimately, the individuals that suffer are those that don't make use of the resources, the tools, that don't have the right maybe approach to the business. So I want to share a few thoughts around taking ownership of your business today. And where you are sitting there today, this might not apply to you. Some of it might apply to you. Take on whatever you can, because I know it's an extremely complex discussion. It's a complex topic to discuss. Let me rather say it that way. It's a complex thing because we're all so different. Each and every one of us is different. We just differently wired. We have different backgrounds. We have different voices in our heads. Things that the way that we look at the world, the way that we look at ourselves. You know, we also different, and we can't be the same. And so for that reason, it makes me a little bit nervous to talk about these things because we can't box everyone in the same box. You know, we all have different aspirations, dreams, things that we want out of life. Some of us are very happy with a very simple, uncomplicated life, and that makes us very happy. And some have lofty dreams of owning a yacht one day, or a plane, or a helicopter, you know, or a big house, or to be able to send your kids to the best university, or to be able to retire very comfortably without any worries or any concerns about your retirement, not having to look towards your children to support, you know. So we all find ourselves in different places in the way that we approach this. But let's get going. This was just kind of an introduction. I have about an hour. We have the scheduled until 9:30, and I'm going to run through a lot of slides. So you're going to be seeing a lot of content coming up on the screen. And obviously, as you know, the recording will be made available afterwards. And if you have any questions or if there's anything that you need from this presentation that you see on here, I'm just an email or a phone call away or a WhatsApp away, pop me a message and I will gladly send on anything that you see in here. So friends, we know that we work in the service industry. Would we agree with that? We always see, I love property, I love real estate and all those things, but it's a service industry. We are serving people, and we have touched on this a few times this week already, where I talked about the canoe theory, and in other sessions that we looked at the fact that we are really working in the service industry. And we are marketing and advertising specialists. So we really have to have a good understanding of the marketing and the advertising environment, what the different platforms are, what the tools are available to me for me to advertise my properties and to do proper marketing and to be focused as a real marketing manager on each and every listing that I have. So we got to be switched on marketing and advertising. We know that we are in the people business. So obviously the service industry, we're serving people, but as far as the people business goes, we got to understand people. We got to love working with people. It's all about people. And as far as the service industry goes, the people business goes, I kind of see it as a three-layer dynamic that we have. If I can use the word dynamic, maybe for lack of a better word, in our structure, in our company, we have Harcourts South Africa, where we are serving you as our franchisees, as our officers. So we are there to guide you, to give you new tools, to teach you, to inspire you, all those things, and hold you accountable. And the business owners, the franchise owners, and the managers serve the team members in terms of vision, guidance, upskilling, motivation, accountability, all those things. And for you as agents on the front line, you are serving your clients. You're out there meeting your clients, your landlords, your tenants, your sellers, your buyers, and you are serving those individuals. So we're all serving one another. And also in Harcourts, as a Harcourts team, obviously around the globe, we are helping each other, we're serving each other. So we really got to appreciate that. But so let's look at different elements of taking real ownership of your business. Again, if we can look at what Spar said. Spar says that we're not in the grocery business, we're in the people business. Now, I know that often we go into a supermarket and we're not really met by a lot of love and affection. So, what shame. I imagine those poor people, it's, imagine you working with thousands of people every day coming past your cash register, all those things. But the aim is we're in the people business. I saw this beautiful thing on the internet yesterday. It's actually a COVID-19 post where ShopRite, Checkers, Pick n Pay, Woolworths, and Spar said, we shall proudly serve. We obviously keep our doors open and we are here to serve the public. And working on risk, obviously, we know the health risk associated currently with people that work in these service industries, but they got to do it, right? Because we got to eat. So that is pretty nice, but just confirming that they are there to serve. Friends, but we got to have a love for working with people. When we wake up in the morning, we want to be able to help people. We want to be able to help people. I want to be able to help you. You want to be able to help your agents. The agents want to be able to help the clients. So we really got to, nurture that. And as we said earlier in this week, we are not robots, we're not machines. We get our off days, we get our days where we don't want to work with people, we don't want to speak to anyone. I just want to lock my door, I want to close my curtains, and I don't want to see a person. And again, we know we have different personalities. Some are extroverts, some are introverts, some are energized by people, some are drained by people, wherever you find yourself. But ultimately, if we don't enjoy serving people, we should rather maybe go and work in a library. When the library is open again after the lockdown, find yourself a library job. I'm just joking. We're not going anywhere. But you hear what I'm saying is that we got to find real satisfaction in working and serving people. But if we start to connect the dots is it fair to say that we all have dreams and goals and aspirations? We're living this life where we surely want certain things out of life. We want to make our dreams and our goals a reality, and we want to experience life, and we want to love living life. We just don't want to go through 7 days of the week hating life. It's, you know, we dreading what we do. That's not the type of life that we want to live. We want to love and experience life. But the fact of the matter is we need money. We need money to do a lot of things. I'm not saying we need millions. Whatever your unique personal take on this is. Again, I said earlier, this is such a complex discussion because we're all so different with all different goals and aspirations and dreams. But I think we'll all agree that for us to be able to do the things that we need to do, and the life that we want to live, and the traveling that we want to do, and the things that we need to acquire, and the provision that we need to make for our retirement days and for our health, and all those things requires money. And we're in business. We're running a business. We said earlier, previously in the week, that we need a return on our investment. The time that we put into our business, when I open my eyes in the morning and I go to work and I open my doors, figuratively speaking, for business, I'm open for business, I am looking for a return on my investment because I'm putting in time, I'm putting in money, and I need a return. And in every business, in any business, that's obviously profit that we're looking for. It is the profit that I can use to reinvest in my business. But we got to appreciate the fact that it's your business success that's going to drive the profit. If you are a sales or a rental agent sitting and listening to this presentation now, you work in association, or call it partnership, with your specific office. So it's a joint effort. It's an agreement between you and the franchisee, and you are out there conducting business together. So there is certain resources provided to you, certain guidance, etc. Harcourts South Africa provides a lot of the infrastructure and the tools and the resources and the systems, etc., that you need to conduct your business. But it is your effort, your daily effort that you put in, including your own money, that you also invest in your business. So ultimately, it's your business success. We need to appreciate the fact that it's you incorporated. If you're a sales or rental agent now listening, it is you incorporated that running your business. I know I'm stating the obvious, but it's just a reminder. But what we also know, and what we've heard from industry experts, real estate professionals that have been in this industry for 30, 40 years, is that to really, really turn those dreams and goals and aspirations into reality, we have to connect with those dreams and goals and aspirations on a daily basis emotionally. We got to remind ourselves every day of why am I doing what I'm doing? What am I working towards? What have I identified the things to be that I need to do this year, next year, over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years? What are my short, medium, and long-term and lifetime goals that I really dream about and that I want to commit to, that I want to achieve and experience? But I need to connect to those emotionally on a daily basis. And you might have a vision board that you look at daily, or you might have these things written down. But what I want to encourage you to do is, if you don't have it written down yet, if you have no way of reminding yourself of what these dreams and goals and aspirations are, again, short-term, medium-term, long-term, break them down, is make the effort to write them down and to look at them daily and remind yourself, because these things will actually propel you forward. These will be the things that's going to give you that why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? You don't then need to be pushed as much, push yourself, or others have to push you, because you have these things identified that energize you, that makes you excited, that want you to do the daily task at hand. And the daily task is often those repetitive, mundane things that we need to do day after day after day after day, that creates that consistency, that go forward momentum that is going to bring us closer to our goal and achieve our goal. So I want to encourage you to find ways to connect to your dreams and goals and aspirations on a daily basis. But again, we know that our lives are like a multi-lane highway. And I'm often reminded of this by things that Jan Meiberg have taught us, is that we know that our lives consist of many different aspects. It's obviously our relationships that we have with our family members, with friends. It is our health. It is our spiritual life. It is our business or our work. So all of these aspects of our lives, you can either picture them as lanes in a highway or on a highway, or balls that we have to keep in the air. And as we know, some of these balls are rubber balls and some of these balls are actually glass balls. So if we drop a relationship, like maybe a marriage or so, and if we drop that, that ball can actually break and it can be irreparable, whereas some other balls can have flexibility and they can bounce back up. But if we have a breakdown on our highway, so let's say your health, or there's a breakdown in a relationship on that highway, what we often find then is we have total standstill of our highway. If you have a personal health issue, or you have a family member that is going through a really difficult time, health-wise, mentally-wise, or if you, again, break down relationships, then all our lanes come to a standstill. But it is our responsibility to do whatever we can to clear up that breakdown in that lane so that the highway can start moving again. Because until we clear that up, our highway cannot move. I think we'll all agree with that. And I know it's complicated, it's complex, because to clear that breakdown might not be easy. It might not be possible at all. So we just got to appreciate the complexity of this. And again, that is why we're all rowing in this canoe as best as we can. And as we said earlier in the week, if I have a personal crisis in my life and my team members know that I'm going through a really difficult time, they will row for me. They will pick up for me. If I've put in the effort, if I've been rowing hard, if I've been showing commitment, they will pick up the slack for me. They will go out to view new properties, or they will meet with sellers or landlords and take buyers and tenants through and help me through this difficult time until I've had time to clear up my highway. But guys, we got to take responsibility of this. Would you agree? So, yep, it is not as simple as it is. I'm just going to take a sip of my water quickly. So on the screen, you will see a performance matrix. Now, this performance matrix was introduced to us by a gentleman by the name of Gilbert Tinoka, who is the mental skills coach of the All Blacks rugby team and of the New Zealand Black Caps, their cricket team. And he said to us that for a rugby team, for a sports team, and for a business, and for you as individual, these three elements are three of the most important elements that would guide your performance or a team's performance. And these three elements are mindset, structure, and skill set. And I know that most of you have been introduced to this performance matrix, but if we can just look at the mindset element again, and we ask, the question is, who do I believe is responsible for my life? And in this case, we're talking about our business. Who's responsible for my business? Can I hear myself blaming or complaining or making excuses or finding justification for certain things? Is my ego maybe standing in the way of listening, being open to learn, getting guidance, making myself open to be accountable? Do I maybe have a sense of entitlement? All these different things we can prevent you from moving forward and having that open, can-do, winning mindset that you need to be not only successful in your real estate career, but in relationships, in all of the places where our mindset is guiding us so strongly. And as we all know, whatever happens between our two ears is critically important. That can make or break us, the way that we approach life, the way that we think about certain things. Guys, can I just pause for 20 seconds? I'll be right back with you. I'm working from behind a closed door, and I had a cat in my office, so I just needed to get the cat out because the cat was scratching on the door, and you would think that that's going to distract me, right? Right, so mindset. Who do I believe is responsible? And again, if we can just take it to a team, if we look at your team, the mindset of the individuals in the team is so important because we all feed each other. We all want to surround ourselves with like-minded people, people that are winners, people that have a winning mindset, people that say, we can do this, we believe we can, we're positive, we're optimistic, we're open to learn. We're not blaming external environments for our success. Yes, they do play a role, absolutely, but we're looking towards ourselves to ask, what can I do? What do I have control over? How's our focus in the office? How is our internal narrative? How is the politics in the office? Are we, is there negativity in the office, or are we a team that are committed to positivity and to a mindset of we are winners? We're in it to win it. So that is the thing, guys. We need to take ownership of that, not only for our own mindset, but also the type of conversation that we're having in our teams. Right now in lockdown, obviously there is so much communication going on in our WhatsApp groups, and it's also the negativity that we share with one another. I should probably not say the negativity, but these really draining messages. I know we're all family, and I know that we not want to just share our fears and our anxiety with others, just to make it easier for ourselves, so that we have others that obviously share our concern. Yes, that is normal, that's human, but we got to be careful that we're not pulling other people down. Again, pardon me if I'm touching on any sensitive nerves, guys. I'm just making very general statements, but I hope that you agree with me. So let's move on. Can we agree that if we have the right mindset, if we have the right focus, if we have the right vision, if we have our dreams and goals and aspirations written down, if we are putting in the effort, then we are in a business by design. It's not a business by chance then. There is luck involved. Things happen sometimes out of your control. That is a given. We cannot get away from that. But as Gary Player said, the more I practice, the luckier I get. And we have so much control over so many things that we do in our business that we got to believe that this is a business by design. We can design our success. So let's look at different elements of entrepreneur. What is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is a person willing to take financial risks in setting up and owning a business to benefit from an opportunity, to earn profit and become financially free. They do things differently and celebrate so-called failures as learning and growing experiences. An entrepreneur. If you have decided to be an entrepreneur, that means you've chosen to be responsible for your own success. You know that rewards will come to you only once you're creating value for customers or clients. Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is what people do to take their career and dreams into their hands and lead it in the direction of their own choice. It's about building a life on your own terms. No one or a fixed salary holding you back. But so often we find that there are two attitudes. There's an attitude of entitlement or an attitude of entrepreneurism. Sjoe, dis 'n moeilike woord vir 'n Vrydag vir 'n Afrikaanse boetjie. Maar ons kry ons tong rondom entrepreneurism. Okay? But these are two complete opposites. Entitlement is when you expect others to provide you with what you need, including opportunities. You get upset when you don't get it, and you always end up feeling like what you're getting isn't enough. Whereas entrepreneurism is taking ownership. If I'm creating value for customers, I'll be taken care of. I'll get what I need if I create something that's useful to other people. Entitlement leads to dissatisfaction, feeling let down by others, and being isolated and miserable. Entrepreneurism leads to connection to others, success and happiness. Isn't this fascinating? Wow. And it's not me that says this. This is just a little bit of research that I did on entrepreneurism, guys. And we just need to remind ourselves that there is too much information out there on entrepreneurism, entrepreneurship, business ownership than you can possibly read in your lifetime. It's just a matter of going out, finding good quality information to read, to watch, to listen to. And again, that is our daily commitment towards ourselves to enrich our minds on these things that we want to work towards. If you want to become a better entrepreneur, study entrepreneurship. That is the thing, we got to go and focus and study entrepreneurship. That will energize you so much. Are we spending enough time on studying entrepreneurship? We're responsible for our own happiness and success at the bottom of the screen. We cannot expect someone else to fix things for us. So let's just run through a few quick traits of a successful entrepreneur. And I'm just going to run through a few traits quickly. I'm sure that you'll be able to add a few, and I hope that you agree with the ones that I have on the screen. They have a positive can-do mindset and attitude. They're courageous. They have a high level of self-belief. They're analytical And analytical meaning they analyze the markets, they analyze the industry, they have a good understanding of the industry. Are we analyzing our markets well enough? Are we really knowing what's going on in our neighborhoods, our suburbs, of all the new properties that come onto the market, what they're priced for, how long they stay on the market? Anyway, another topic for another day maybe. They're hardworking. They have an inner drive. Entrepreneurs have a clear purpose. They have a vision. They're strategic thinkers. They have clearly defined goals. They're clear on the ideal outcome that they want to achieve. They have action plans. They are focused. Entrepreneurs are specialists in their field. They are relationship oriented. Entrepreneurs are money wise. They conduct sound financial management, and they see possibilities and solutions where others see annoyances and problems. And entrepreneurs embrace technologies and new developments. Entrepreneurs have a passion and a love for what they do. They have guts. They have resilience and tenacity. They have initiative. Entrepreneurs perform or execute continuously self-development. And they surround themselves with the right people. Very, very important. Right, so your job as an entrepreneur is to envision a bigger and better future for your business. It's to build relationships, make connections, and strategize. If you're too focused on the minutiae of everyday issues, you'll never be able to take a step back and see the bigger picture or envision a better one. So those minutiae are the small, precise, and trivial details of something. And what you want to consider is to let a strategic support team assist with the non-dollar productive activities in your business, because we understand that we have dollar productive and non-dollar productive activities. And in every single day, we need to decide, after we have decided what I can completely scrap off my to-do list, if I don't do it, then it won't make any difference in my business. What can I delegate to someone else? Is there anything that I can automate in my business? And once I have crossed all those things off, of what I can scrap, what I can delegate or automate, I'm taking ownership of what I need to do myself, because those things that I need to take care of myself, those would mainly be the dollar productive activities. But I think where we often go wrong in our businesses, if I'm a sales or rental agent, is because the reality of our business is go, 7 days a week, 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day sometimes. From the moment I open my eyes, or sometimes even my phone wakes me up because my client is sending me a WhatsApp message 4 a.m. in the morning, or until late this evening, it's just go. And we don't make time to work on our businesses, because we're just working in our business all the time. And guys, I think that is often where we go wrong, and where we often drop the ball, because we're not making time to work on our business. So if we're back to the performance matrix, one of the other elements on that matrix, as you saw earlier, is structure. Do I have goals to focus me on? Do I have a roadmap to help me to get to my goals or to my destination? Call it a plan, call it a business plan, call it a strategic plan. Do I have a coach or a mentor that is helping me to keep my structure intact, to help me stay focused on this roadmap where I need to go? That can also be my accountability partner, coach, a mentor, accountability partner. We need people to help us, because we know that it can be so lonely out there, so challenging out there. There's a wilderness waar ons self bevind. So the time blocking refers to the way that we actually plan our weeks, the way that we structure our weeks, so that we can block times, we can create good structure in our weeks. Are we following the right systems and processes? And we know, if we analyze successful real estate professionals, businesses around the globe, they will tell you that they stick to a process that works for them. They know what their systems and their processes are, and that process systems driven, and they believe in the process. They believe that the process will bring them results. If they stick to the right activities day after day after day after day, it is going to bring results. If I have my setbacks or my disappointments today or tomorrow, I need to get over that as quickly as I can, as quickly as I can humanly possibly can get over that disappointment. It might be a commission of 200,000 Rand that I've been expecting to earn on this transaction. I've already planned my trip to Italy. And, okay, Italy is maybe a little bit contentious at the moment, but let's say to Alaska. And now the deal falls flat and there's no money coming in. That is a massive disappointment. I've already seen myself, you know, taking pictures of the grizzly bears there in Alaska, and it's not happening. So we need to follow our process. We need to know that I need to get up, I need to focus on, right, what next? What I need to keep going, I need to keep going. That is the thing. What is my to-do or my achievement list? So guys, you get the idea around structure, the importance of structure. That is as far as self-structure goes, the structure that we put in place for ourselves, but then we also have office structure. We have our office departments, we have our team support, we have communication in the team. There is technology that is not only from your office support base, but that's also from Harcourts South Africa's side. So it's this whole team effort that assists you as the agent that's out there on the front lines to help you to be the best that you can be, because you got to believe that we are completely, totally invested in your success, because your success is our success. We're all working towards the same success, etc. But you get the idea. And then skill set is, what do I need to know and be able to do in order to succeed? And that is also another commitment. It is taking time out of our businesses to work on our business and not working in the business all the time. And the time that I set aside for skills development, I got to make time to build my skills. And right now you are making time. You are invested. As we are speaking to each other right now, you're invested in building your skills, and you have been for this past week and next week and the week after. And obviously it's been ongoing since the time that you've joined Harcourts. But anyway, I'm laboring the point. You get the idea. Skills development is critically important. We've got to continuously be building our skills. We never stop learning. I'm always amazed and so impressed by agents that have been in the industry for 20 plus years that always find the next opportunity to attend a training course or want to learn more, because they know that we never stop learning. We will never know everything, and technology changes, legislation changes, and we need to stay on top of it. We need to keep sharpening the saw all the time. So as far as structure goes, I just want to spend a little bit of time on our annual planning. We are 3 days into April, and as we know, the financial year for Harcourts starts on the 1st of April and it ends on the 31st of March. So we're 3 days into our new financial year for Harcourts. We're ending off the previous financial year. We're just waiting for the last registrations to be declared, and then we're going to finish off. So if you are planning according to the Harcourts financial year or just for this calendar year of 2020, what is your annual plan looking like? Have you committed to your annual plan for this year? And do you have it in writing? Is it something that you can revisit, something that you are revisiting, that you have been revisiting over the past 3 months? I know this lockdown period is a challenging period. And I was just speaking to Richard yesterday, and we said that, you know, business might be changing, and the things that I have on my business plan right now, I might have to go and revisit and say, is this really the right things that I need to be focusing on for this year? But just in terms of talking about planning, I want to encourage you to be clear in your plan, to make the effort to plan well. And I want to introduce you, if you have not seen this leadership arrow before, I want to introduce this leadership arrow to you. And it comes from the book of Nick Christelis. And the title of the book is The Art of the Arrow, How Leaders Fly. And he uses this arrow as a metaphor to say that you are shooting, we're all shooting an arrow. We're holding an arrow in this bow, and we want to hit the bullseye with this arrow. But for this arrow to have any chance of hitting that bullseye, it needs certain elements to fly well, to fly with the right trajectory. Dis nog 'n baie moeilike woord. And these are the elements. The arrowhead is the leadership element, and I'm going to unpack that just now. It's the leadership element of the arrow, and the shaft of the arrow is the management element. But what he says is that if we do not have a good understanding of why am I here, why am I in business, why do I want to make the money, If the arrow tip is not there, it's not going to penetrate that bullseye. It's not going to drill into that bullseye. You've got to be clear on why are you in business and why do you want to make the money? What are those goals, those dreams, those aspirations that you're working towards that propel you forward? As far as vision and envisioning goes, where am I going with this? As far as strategy goes, is how am I going to get there, and what am I going to do? What is my strategy? Have you unpacked your strategy for this year? If you just look at those three elements of the arrowhead, where are you on that as we speak today? Are you clear on why you're in business, where you're going with your business, and to know how you're going to get there and what you're going to be doing? Have you actually unpacked that? Have you taken the time out of your business to unpack that? It can be in any format of a business plan. It doesn't need to be the business plan that Harcourts South Africa or your office provides you. You've got to have it somewhere to be clear on that. So Nick Christelis, after decades of doing research around the globe, says that 60% of the weight, in other words, 60% of the success of this arrow, of the flight of the arrow, sits in the arrowhead. If the purpose, the vision and envisioning and strategy is lacking, the arrow is not going to have any chance of hitting that bullseye. So commit to that leadership element. And this is, you are the CEO of your own business. You are the leader in your own business. You know, if you just take your business, let's say you're an agent listening now and you work in partnership with your franchisee, then you are the CEO of You Incorporated. You hear what I'm saying on that. As far as the shaft goes, we have our goals, which should be rigid. If I know that I need to be writing R1 million commission this month because that's what my family needs, I cannot earn 600,000 because I need 1 million. So my goals are rigid and everything that goes with that. But as far as my plans and my behavior go, the plan and behavior got to be flexible, because if what I'm doing right now is not working, I need to change my plans. I need to be agile to know that I need to adjust. And right now we are obviously changing our plans to be as nimble as possible, because we are faced with financial challenges in terms of the cash flow in our businesses going forward. So I know I've heard that quite a few of our offices that have still been advertising quite aggressively in print media have changed their plans to discontinue advertising in print media just to see them through this period. So that is just one example of changing plans. But as you can see on the right of the screen, the management element, it takes up 40% of the weight of the arrow. It's all about execution, the short term, whereas the leadership element in your arrowhead is the long term. It is my vision for my business. Where am I going with this business over the next 5 years, 10 years? Because we know for you to be successful in real estate on the long term, it's a long-term investment. The seed that I'm planting today and the way that I'm watering the seed today will hopefully bear fruit in the future, whether it's 5 years or 10 years from now. And the beauty of our business, it's that we can create a compound. Our business can actually compound year after year, because we have repeat and referral business. Great service that we give today should hopefully, if I nurture those relationships, result in repeat and referral business. So that is that long-term vision. So guys, just an example of the leadership arrow, and talking about our annual planning. Just as far as behavior goes, behavior is the way that we spend our time on a daily basis. It is the things that we say yes to and the things that we say no to. It is my time commitment on a daily basis. It's the focus that I work with. If I know that I have family commitments, maybe you're a working mother and you have small children at home, and from 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you are so tied up. It's homework. It is, getting supper ready. It's all your things that you need to do at home. Or obviously, if you're a husband or a father, whatever those dynamics is, if we know that we only have a certain number of hours in the day to work, it is the way that we conduct ourselves in those actively possible working hours. And that's just under the word behavior. And then we have values and principles that create stability to the flight of this arrow. We need to do quarterly reflection and planning. And in Harcourts, we also have quite a few tools, and we have introduced these 8 big rocks elements also to you in our Starting the Harcourts Way training, Succeeding the Harcourts Way. So I'm sure that most of you are familiar with these 8 big rocks, but it unpacks the importance of planning, prospecting and lead generation, listing new properties, managing my existing listings, whether I'm a sales or a rental agent, working with my buyers or my tenants, managing my sales or my rentals, my personal promotion and my skills development and learning. 8 big rocks, and AJ is going to be talking more about the 8 big rocks next week. But the way that I look, the way that I reflect on my business, doing self-reflection is I got to ask myself on a quarterly basis, how well have I been doing in each of these 8 elements in my business in the past 90 days? How have I been planning? And I score myself on a scale from 0 to 10. You will see a 0 in the middle of the pie chart, or middle of the circle, and you will see a 10 on the outer rim of the circle. And in each of these slices, if we look at planning, if you would score yourself on a scale from 0 to 10 on planning in this past 90 days, how well did you do? If we just take from January till March, because we've just come out of the first quarter of this calendar year. If you would give yourself a score on planning 0 out of 10, where would you put that? And let's say you score yourself a 6 out of 10. You would make a mark there in this pie around the 6 mark. And you would do the same for prospecting, lead generation. And so you would go around and you will get an idea of what your wheel looks like. And obviously on the areas where you've scored yourself really low, those are areas that you ideally want to upskill yourself in the next 90 days. You want to identify those areas and say, I really need to do better in those areas. And design action plans so that you can be focused in the next 90 days to possibly create better habits, to put better things in place so that you can make progress in your business. But remember, we can't improve each and every aspect of our business in 90 days. And we cannot take a score from a 0 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10 just in 90 days. It improves in increments, but we got to be committed. If I want to improve on planning, guys, I just want to see what you want to say here to me. Now, you can't see me on the screen, guys. I hope you're okay with that. You can't see me on the screen. You will just listen to me. Okay, right. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, Peter. Thank you, guys, for your comments. Right, so guys, what I want to say to you is we need to be analytical of our business. We need to look at ourselves honestly, self-reflection, and identify the areas in our business where we need to improve. And this 8 big rocks element is just one of the tools that you can use to do quarterly self-reflection. That's why I say we got to take time out of our business to look inwards, to do self-reflection, and to make plans, to design action plans of say, right, how can I improve on my planning over the next 90 days? How can I do better in prospecting and lead generation? How can I do better in terms of managing my existing listings? You get the idea. We got to move on. I see that I have just about 15 minutes left. So I want to make sure that we're done by 9:30. Monthly reflection and planning. How are we doing on our monthly reflection and planning? The same applies with that 8 big rocks. You could also do monthly reflection, but we have to be clear on our planned activities for a quarter or for a month. So this is just a screen print of a activity scorecard. And again, I know that most of you are familiar with these scorecards, and I hope that you're using them because you are writing down the things that you want to focus on. And we got to remember that less is more. If I focus on the 3 to 5 most critical things that I need to focus on in the next 30 days or the next 60 days or 90 days, I will make progress on those activities. But if I want to try and improve 20 things in my business in the next 30 days, it's not going to happen. We know the value of focus. We know the value of focusing on one thing or 3 things. That's critically important if you want to make any real progress in those fields. So use your activity scorecards as you go into the month and say, in this month, I want to make sure that I track these activities and I set myself targets. On the right of the screen, you will see that I have daily targets, I have weekly targets, and then I have a column where I actually record what I've achieved. So it's important that we track our activities, our appointments, our listings, etc. So make sure that you are using your scorecards on a monthly basis. Also, as far as prospecting goes, if we are not being proactive in our business, we are going to lose opportunities. We cannot be reactive. If we are reactive in our business, an opportunity will have passed you by where you could have made real winnings. But if we don't put in the time, if we don't work on our business, because we're working in our business all the time, we're not going to plan well, and we're not going to know how to prospect in this month or the next month or the next month. And again, we're going to be losing opportunities. So guys, Go and look at your prospecting planners again and ask yourself, what are my plans for April? Right now, what am I doing in this lockdown period? What am I doing in terms of my database marketing? What am I doing in my farming area, my local area? What terms of marketing can I possibly do now in the month of April, where things are different, things are challenging? But if the market opens up again, and if we can start to move around more freely, whenever that's going to be, then you've got to be clear on what are you doing. And I want to encourage you to plan ahead. If you can plan 3 months ahead, you will feel so energized. If you came into the month of April and you knew exactly what you're going to be doing in this month, as far as your database marketing, your local, your farming area, your personal and office marketing, your personal promotion, you'll just be so energized coming into April that you'll be on fire. You'll hit the ground running in April. You'll just go, go, go. I know exactly this is what I want to do this week, next week, next week, next week. And that goes obviously for every single month. So can I encourage you to plan ahead? Some of you are doing this phenomenally well. I know that for a fact. And others are still finding their way around these tools. But this is your planning. Guys, this is taking ownership of your business. We're talking today about taking ownership of your business and having an entrepreneurial mindset. These are the types of things that entrepreneurs do, that take ownership of their business. They work on their business. They make the time. They set it in their diary and they plan. They plan well. What are my plans for the next month, the next 2-3 months, the next 6 months even? On the screen, you have what I call a prospecting and database communication planner. This is now for the month of April in this year 2020. And I can send this to you, but just very quickly, it is designed around my contact groups on H1. If I have my database really well structured on H1, and I have my past clients, and I have my VIP clients, and I have my prospective sellers and strategic partners, etc., I will have certain targets of number of people that I want to contact in each of these contact groups in this month. And when exactly am I going to do it in this month? It's from when till when, how many per day, how many contacts per day, and what is the method that I'm going to be using to contact these individuals. Some will be via telephone this month, others will be SMSs, others will be emails, and it will change for every month. The month of May is going to be different, and so it goes on. And then the columns on the right-hand side, how many have I actually achieved to reach, and were there any leads that were generated from this communication? Guys, I don't have time now to look at your raised hands, but I'm just going to continue because I want to finish the content. But I will come back to you. I will, if you can just leave me a comment or a message, please, I will be able to come back to you after the session, and I will send you any information that you require from me. So just pop me a message in the chat box. So that is as far as planning, being committed, taking ownership of my database, taking ownership of the structure in my database, and taking ownership of the communication with my database. No one else is going to do it for me. I'm the only person that can do this for myself. I design my database. I create contacts in my database. I put them in the right places, and then I make a plan how to contact them, because that is the only way that I can unlock opportunities that are locked up in my database. I want to bring those opportunities to the surface. I want to speak to people, and it's part of my process of making contact with individuals over a 12-month period, so that I know that they hear from me quite frequently throughout the next 12 months. So that is just one example. This is time blocking. This is a weekly basis. And I know that most of you are familiar with the time blocking concept. So I'm not going to go into this in detail, because I know AJ is going to be discussing this on Monday, the importance of time blocking. And I think that he has also previously discussed it earlier in this week. So I know that you have seen time blocking. That's right. That reminds me, I have seen AJ already talking about this week. So let me not go into detail on that. As far as financial management goes, we said earlier that obviously for any business owner, you got to have your finger on the pulse of your finances. So we got a budget for our personal expenses, and each and every one of us have a budget. I hope that you're clear on your budget. I hope that you have a very, very good understanding of what your monthly expenses are. So yep, you're providing for your personal expenses, but then you also have your budget for your business expenses. Isn't that so? We cannot expect of our franchisees, our business owners, to spend all the money on our business, and our arms are too short, they can't reach into our pockets, and we can't reach the wallet. So, no, I'm just kidding. But money makes money, and we got to be willing to invest in our business. It's your business, and it requires investment. and money makes money. So if you can identify ways, and I know that some of you, like Letitia Willemse, went out and she bought her own Matterport camera. That's a massive investment. You know, it just shows that commitment. And so is many of you doing different things to invest in your own businesses to maximize the opportunities. But it's important not to mix it up, because I think that most of us have one account. Our commission comes into our bank account, and from there we have our personal expenses, we spend some money on our business, and it all just mixed up. Ideally, wouldn't it be fantastic if you could pay yourself a monthly salary from your business account? So you had a business account, you say to your franchisee, to your admin department, please, my commission should come into this business account. And from there, you pay yourself into a different account, a monthly salary. And the money that stays behind in your business account is money that you keep for your business expenses. And hopefully that is where you can build up a buffer in that business account that can probably carry you for at least a 3-month salary in times that are tough, especially now these times. So keep a buffer of at least three months salary in your business account. Because I think that is something to really work towards, is to manage our finances properly and to look at our business like a real business. Okay, I don't want to labor the point, but we got to manage our costs well. Just another sip of my water. So like in any business, we got to be managing our costs really well. We got to be managing our finances like a business owner. Got to have that mindset. We are not employed. Yes, you are employed. You have an employment agreement, but put that aside. You got to take ownership of the fact that you're not being paid a salary. You work on commission, and that is risk. That is the risk. So you are running a business, and you got to have that mindset of a business owner. Just another example of analyzing our business, analyzing our pipeline. I'm sure that you're all familiar with the sales funnel. This is what we call a sales funnel. You've seen it also earlier this week in some of the training, but this is where I have a list of the mandates that I currently have in my business. This could also include all my listings that I have in my business and the potential commission that can be earned in the right-hand column. But mainly, this is a strategic tool that I use to identify a plan of action for each of my listings. But this is just another tool that we should be using on a daily basis in our business to analyze, to take stock like a real business owner of our business and say, what do I have on my shelves and what do I need to do to move this product, to move this listing? But we can discuss this again at some other point around the elements of that. But ultimately, whatever we do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on an annual basis, in terms of our structure, our activities, if you just think of the shaft in that arrow again, our plans and our behavior, consistency is key. And winners are those who still put in the effort, put in the work when they least feel like it. That is what Tom Panos says. Breakthrough results come about by a series of good decisions, diligently executed and accumulated one on top of one another, by Professor Jim Collins, who wrote the book Good to Great, Great by Choice. Brilliant guy from Harvard University. Jim Collins also said that a culture of discipline results in disciplined thought and disciplined action. A culture of discipline combined with an unwavering ethic of entrepreneurship results in the magical alchemy of great performance. Habits, good or bad, always deliver results. If you think of your great habits, they're going to deliver results. If you think of your really poor habits that you feel that you just wish you could make a plan for, those bad results also deliver results, or those bad habits also deliver results. So in closing, guys, keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your actions. Keep your actions positive because your actions become your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your lifestyle. Keep your lifestyle positive because your lifestyle becomes your life. Keep your life positive because your life becomes your destiny. And with that, I thank you so much for joining me this morning in a discussion on real estate entrepreneurship, taking ownership of your business. I wish each and every one of you the very best of success in your business, in your personal lives, with your health, with your spiritual life, so that we can all be living a balanced, happy life. That's all what we, that's what we wish for one another, isn't that so? And I wish for you a great Friday. Whatever you have planned for the rest of the day, if you're going to be tuning into AJ's session on digital marketing, that promises to be absolutely brilliant, starting at 10 o'clock. Enjoy that. And if you want to pop me a message into the chat box, please do so. I'll be looking at these messages. If you want to send me an email, I'm kobus.low@harcourtsa.co.za, or you can send me a WhatsApp. My telephone number is 082-325-8938. And you will find my name on the H1 directory. But guys, all the best. I wish you great success. Thank you so much for everything that you do for Harcourts as a team, for your office. We really appreciate you. And stay healthy, stay safe. Best to you and your loved ones. And I look forward to chatting to you again next week. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.